How much? I'm gonna quiz you here, Tubby. What do you use to roast coffee? Not
I
roast.
don't roast coffee.
Shirt. And we're gonna talk about coffee roasting today, Tubby. Do you roast your own coffee?
I do not roast my own coffee. I haven't gone that far down the rabbit hole yet. But I know that you roast coffee.
I do. And I do it very inexpensively, Tubby. I still have not graduated to like an expensive coffee roaster. I use if you go to this lovely website, sweetmarias.com, they sell for $24 plus shipping. You can get a coffee roaster, which is this little air popcorn popper, and you get a free 4-pound bag of coffee beans to roast. I think shipping's $10 or something. I don't know exactly what the shipping is. So for about 30 some dollars, you can get 4 pounds of coffee to try. What do you think of that, Tubby?
That seems like a really good deal. That doesn't seem. I'm trying to do math. I'm trying to use my memory and do math at the same time, and that's not going to work out very well. I pay way more for my roasted coffee.
You probably do. A good bag of roasted coffee is a 12-ounce bag is something like, I don't know, $15 to $20. You can pay a little more, but in that ballpark is about right. But it's tough to compare because these do lose some weight during the roasting process, right? I don't know exactly how much. Like, maybe you get 3.5 pounds and not 4, but it's still
a lot.
It's still
of
a good value. But you have to do the work. Don't forget, which is. But I think it's a pleasant task. It takes, say, 3 or 4 minutes to roast one small batch of coffee. Hey, Tubby, what do you use to brew your coffee?
I use a Chemex pour over.
How many grams of coffee beans do you put in there, roughly? You don't have to be exact.
22.8 for about 750 grams of coffee every day, I think is what I do.
So one run through this machine is probably about double that. Okay. So you can get 2 days worth of coffee in one run of the cheap $25 machine. I don't think that's too bad. For a while, that's about what I would use for 2 double shots of espresso too. Is one, I'd get 2.5 espressos out of one roasting session. Is that? I don't know what it's called. I don't have a word for that. Batch. One batch. Thank you, Tubby. And for a while, I was trying to do it. I was trying to space that out. I'd say, well, I'm going to have 2 espressos tomorrow and 2 every day. So I would roast just enough every single day. And that was kind of neat because it fit within the coffee making process, right? I could roast while I'm doing the other, while I'm grinding, heating up water.
Yeah.
Yeah, waiting for the espresso machine to make me steamed milk for my latte. But I've stopped doing that. I roast maybe somewhere between a quarter and a half a pound every time I run the machine now. And it's pleasant. It makes the kitchen smell nice.
It's always good when the kitchen smells like something yummy.
It is. It doesn't smell like, it's not like delicious coffee smell. There's a fiery, smoky wood kind of smell.
Like barbecue.
If you like the smell of a campfire, but this is probably for you. I enjoy the smell. I think it's nice, but don't get right up there. I've been curious. I said, oh, that smells interesting. And you put your face over the machine and huff it. It's like, don't do that. You're inhaling smoke.
Don't do hits from the coffee.
Don't do hits
coffee
from the
roaster.
Coffee roaster. How long do you think I've been doing this for, Tubby?
It's been a while.
It has, and I'm not even sure how long, but I've gone back. I had to manually count this. I have bought almost 120 pounds of beans. I have roasted more than 100. I just had one of these coffee roasters fail on me. I'm on my 4th nostalgia electric popcorn popper so far, Tubby.
That seems like a lot.
It seems like but I think it's been 4 years.
You've done 100 pounds. I mean, 100 pounds of coffee is also a lot. Like a lot of coffee.
It is really a lot of coffee.
And for the price, that doesn't. I mean, I guess it seems like a lot. Like if you were concerned with waste, right?
I'm a little bummed out that I'm wasting
landfill.
Roasters. Yeah. I don't know what to do about that. Their next roaster up that I was thinking about upgrading to this time, but I didn't for 2 reasons, and one of them is that they've been sold out for a while, is a fancier air popper with
Okay.
temperature controls and timers and magic.
That does sound fancy.
And I believe it doesn't say there, does it, Tubby? It doesn't say. It just says sold out where the price should be. But I think it's about $80 with no free coffee.
Okay.
And that's fine. That seems reasonable. But I have a small fear that it's not going to last as long. Like, what if it only
Or-
lasts as long as my other
Yeah,
popcorn
it's-
poppers? Then it's a
it's
bad value.
It's 4 times as expensive, so it would need to last 4 times as long.
Yep.
And if you were going through them as quickly as you're going through the other ones,
Then it's worrisome. But I
Then
also
that's
get
wor-
4 pounds of free coffee. With
yes,
it. But it's
Yeah.
lower end coffee, right? It's not the nicest coffee that they sell. And the nicest coffee that they sell is really cheap. I could get some nice Ethiopian Yirgacheffe or Sadama for $6-7 a pound.
what
And
about the old
usually we
wooden
pay
ship?
$20 for 12 ounces of roasted Ethiopian bean. This is, if you're all ready, I think everybody should try this. If you're already if you have to have a grinder already, Tubby, or you have to buy one. But if you're grinding coffee, you're using a Chemex or an AeroPress or a pour over, if you're already at that level, it's worth $35 to try it out.
Just to try roasting. Maybe I'll have
Yep.
to try it.
And well, you get to cheat. You don't have to try it because I'm already doing
Yeah.
it. But
This is true.
I also think this is a good gift for a coffee fan if they haven't
Yeah.
tried it. It was an enjoyable experience just doing the first 4 pounds and learning things. And even if I didn't continue after that, it would have been fine. It would have $35 for 4 pounds of coffee is fantastic. They'll be excited. Whoever receives that gift would be excited to drink it. Probably, we hope. Hopefully, they send some decent beans. You never know what it's going to be.
Yep.
It's a sampler.
4 1-pound samples.
It is. It's 4 1-pound samples, 4 different coffee. And you can do regular and decaf. I don't want to do decaf. I don't want to do that.
I'm making a face at you after
Yeah,
you said
decaf tastes funny.
And it doesn't have caffeine in it.
It's true. But the next
look at
step
all
up,
these.
Tubby, you asked me, Brian, if I should be moving up to the next, not just
The
this
next-
popper, but a real coffee roaster that could do a
Yeah.
half a pound or a pound at a time. The one that I looked at that I thought was interesting, and I didn't bring up the webpage, is a drum roaster for $650. And what I didn't tell you at the time, because it didn't occur to me, the thing I need to spend $650 on would be a nicer grinder. Would be my next espresso machine
Okay.
upgrade. Like I think a Niche Zero grinder that you always see James Hoffman using is a $600 or $700 grinder.
That's expensive.
It's expensive, and that's not. They get way more expensive. I don't want to say that's bare minimum for espresso, but it is
Yeah.
now. That's what you should be buying if you're making espresso today.
Interesting.
And
Not his
or
little hand
some
grinders
people-
that he talks about a lot.
yeah, I don't know if they make any
He
that are
likes to
good for.
suggest that the hand grinder as an inexpensive way to get into it, but not necessarily for espresso, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think they do well for at espresso grind levels, but for AeroPress, like a
Yeah.
$30 hand grinder is way better than a $120 electric grinder.
Yeah.
Our good friend Devious Fusion here in the chat is right. I'm considering doing a DIY coffee roaster, but I don't know. You know, the PID loop's easy. The controls are, getting a relay and an ESP and stuff, that's easy. I don't know the right way to heat the beans. Yeah, I know people use bread makers. You know, the little flappy wheel of the paddle in the bottom stirs the beans around, and I don't know how they heat it. People rig up things with a heat gun from Harbor Freight, which is just like, that's what the air popper is a heat gun with a, it's a heat gun in a container. But yeah, I don't know where to go to. It's so easy to just buy another $35 or $25 nostalgia popper and get 4 pounds of mediocre. I don't want to say mediocre. They're nice. They're good enough beans. You'd pay $10 or $12 for a bag of whatever they send you for free.
For free.
Free. Yeah, well, the way I think of it is I get 4 pounds of coffee with a free roaster, whereas they advertise it as a roaster.
Free
with
roaster.
Yeah, I want a free roaster.